As a producer, my name is Mr. Porter, and as an artist, I'm just Denaun, formerly con artist of D12. I had a friend around the corner that rapped, and he was like, you know, the popular rapper, but we grew up since the kindergarten together. And so me, him, and another guy, we started a group called Crazy Tunes, and it was like all cartoon shit because I was into like drawing at the time. I don't even remember this, but I used to draw. And so it was like cartoons was the shit, and then I met Proof, and Proof was like the one guy that was like, he was like the god, you know? And through Proof, I met this guy I met IQ, and he introduced me to M. And me and M became like really, really, really good friends. And I moved in with M like because I got kicked out of my house. And then Proof was really the one that got me into producing because I heard him rap. And then he was like, let's go to the studio. And I was like, where we gonna get the beat from? And he made the beat. And I was like, oh, you can rap and make beats? And my parents would always say, like, cover your ass, like, make sure you don't just learn one thing. That stuck with me. So, and through Proof, I met Dilla. And so that was like my first mentor without mentoring. And then Dre became my next mentor. It was this girl that I met through M. And I think she had a keyboard that she didn't even know how to use, and it was like just there. It didn't have no sequencer. And so I was making beats, and I was making beats where it was like, it didn't have a sequencer, so I had to record the piece by piece. And so I developed this style of off and on. The beat would be off, but it was on beat because I didn't have a sequencer. So the kick was never on the one, it was like shaboom. It wasn't right on the one. And so when I met Dre, he was like, yo, how the fuck are you getting this shit to sound on, but it's off? That's just the way I've been doing beats. That first piece of equipment I had was called an Emax, EMU Emax. Yep. I had got shot at 15. So after I got shot, I didn't know what I was gonna do because I was playing ball. I played football. And I was really good. I was a tight end and small, but you know, you get bigger as you know. And I just took to it because my family's in music. My father's gospel singers. My grandfather is a part of the original Blind Boys of Alabama. That's my grandfather. So I always music was always in my blood, but I just was ignoring it a little bit because I was like, oh, I'm gonna play ball. And I told my mother, I was like, yo, I'm gonna make it. I don't care if I sit on the bench, you still gonna not have to work, like, you know, because I don't have vices. I wasn't into drugs. I wasn't into that shit. So they took it. They was cool with it. They didn't stop me. Like, my dad would always tell me, like, it's not promised that you're gonna make it. And I was like, I'm gonna make it. I'll make it. So even if I made it and all I did was made what you make at your job, I made it because I could do it for a living. To be heard, I was just trying to get Proof's attention. I started with just my crew in the hood, and once I got them to understand that I was actually dope, or I proved that I was dope, then I was trying to get Proof to say I was dope, and he was dissing the shit out of me for a long time. Even when I was staying with him, he was like, man, these fucking snares is too high. And so then after that, I was like trying to get him and Dilla's attention. And Dilla said one day, he was like, I had chopped up a mini Riperton sample. And Dilla was like, yo, he chopped this shit up crazy. And I was like, yes, I made it. And then Proof was like, yo, give me some beats. I'm working on a 5 Ella album. And, you know, that's what I was doing to get heard. And then I was producing for M the whole time. All of the M early stuff, like I was doing most of the beats. And when he met Dre, I met Dre. And then the next thing you know, Dre was like, yo, you got some more of this shit? I was like, hell yeah. And we went to Australia, and I ended up going to LA after that, moved to LA for a while. It's hard, because being around him is like, you don't matter. Like, it's him, then it's you. And I think that was the one thing that I think Proof experienced being his hype man. And I was like, I really feel it all the time. You matter, but you don't matter. Because people don't really, they want to talk to him, and the thing that keeps me going is that I'm a producer outside of it. I'm an artist outside of it. Like, when I get on a song with him, I don't look at it like, oh shit, I'm rapping with the best rapper on the planet. I respect him as a rapper. Like, I always did. I always thought he was dope. But it's like your homeboy being dope. Like, yo, he gonna say some crazy shit, but I'm gonna say some crazy shit too. So I didn't really, I think the one thing that keep me going is you can love music, but you can't do it on the level of competing all the time. Because being 50 years old and trying to compete with a 20-year-old in hip hop is like frowned upon. Like, you can't be 50 and and this kid is 20. Like, so the thing that keep me going is that I know that I am great at something that I'm better than my friends at. So me being able to do that, I was able to do it, and it works. With the transition of artists, I've seen so many come and go. I came in being a part of the biggest team that you could be a part of. M is as big as it gets. M or J. You don't get no bigger than that. It's like Pop, Biggie, you don't get no bigger than that. And I've watched so many people come and go. When I see people like Kendrick, like me and Kendrick, we working, like we working on records. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a part of the new generation, but he's the top tier of the new generation. So if he says, yo, I want to fuck with your shit, that's what keeps you going. Like, the obstacle that other people may feel like they have, I don't know if I have the same thing. I'm self-conscious because of the position I'm in with M, but when you got somebody like Kendrick outside of M that's saying, yo, you dope, I want you to produce records for me, or Rick Ross, like I'm fucking with Rick Ross too, like, so that's like the biggest obstacle is staying relevant. And I've been able to do it without doing dope, doing coke, or or fucking a whole bunch of, I had my share of fun, but like, you know, not doing it in a negative way, no publicity stunts. Like, a lot of these artists that people see, they pull a lot of publicity stunts to get on. Or they already in a position of power, and they play these games where you get the paparazzi, or you get you get your friends, or you leak information on yourself just to get people talking. You got talent. You don't got to do that. You know what I mean? I've been able to not have to do that. And that makes me feel like I'm not doing that. I'm not going to sell my soul to get you to pay attention. I've been able to get people to pay attention because I'm actually great at what I do. Not for anything else. You know, if you want to be that person, then cool, be that person. But I ain't. I think that's whack as fuck. You know what I mean? It's such a waste of time. I'm into astronomy like heavy. Like, I don't spend my money on cars. I'm going to buy a reflector mirror, and I'm gonna buy the biggest telescope that I can find, and I'm gonna look at the sky. I love movies. Like, I quote movies all the time. Like, you know, around whoever I'm around, like, I'm gonna quote movies. And I like to go out and just have a drink at a lounge, you know. Nobody cares, like, nobody give a shit who I am. I'm like, I'm about to go out to a lounge with a bunch of people, just listen to music, learning different music, things like that. Or ultimately, making music is what I do for fun. Ultimately, I would love to have a kid that takes what I do and takes it further. Because I feel like that's what I did with my father. I was able to My father came off the road to raise me as a young black kid, and we don't have a lot of that today. And I would love to have a kid, girl or boy, that says, my dad did this for me to be able to do whatever I want, whether it's music or whether it's astronomy or being a biochemical engineer. I would hope that would be my legacy. Like, money ain't a legacy. Wealth ain't a legacy. Everybody should know that. Money and wealth, that's not a legacy. Continuing your bloodline and them making a difference in the world, that's a legacy. Everything else is bullshit.